Hello everybody, got my latest box opening here for you. Sea of Thunder, I should say Seas of Thunder, Global Naval Warfare from 1939 to 1945. And this is a new P500 release from GMT Games. I was at GMT weekend at the warehouse yesterday, and they allowed us to pick this up. They just got them in, and they haven't even started shipping them yet. So we got to pick up ours for attending the weekend at the warehouse. So it was quite a fun weekend, most enjoyable, but I also got to come home with this game right here. So game design by, and I'm going to misdo these, so I apologize in advance, Jeff Horger, Charles Maher, and Neal Cebulskie. Hopefully I have those somewhat close, are the designers of this game. And it comes in a 3-inch box. You can see here, pretty thick box. And on the back, you can see the map of the entire conflict. It's both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. So Sea of Thunder is a fast action 2-player game on the entire naval conflict of World War II, allowing players to recreate the Atlantic and Pacific theaters of the war and experience the challenges of juggling resources to cover the entire global war. So this game is advertised that, it says, we may not have every single ship, but we have all the ships that you know in this particular game. So it has a lot of counters. So here are an example of some of the counters here. This is the map of it. And there's actually a 2-side, which you'll see in a minute. But it's one double-sided game map. Early war, late war. This one here is the late war. 1 rulebook, 2 combat sequence maps, 14 port maps, 5 counter sheets, more than 1,400 playing pieces, markers, and 12 6-sided dice. So 2 players, 2 to 12 hours. Complexity is rather low. 4. Solitaire suitability is a 6 because there's no cards or card play or anything like that in there. So let's open up, take a look inside. Okay, well, so we start off right away with the rule book here. And it's a nice 4-color printing. And we can see here that we have introduction, components, setup, sequence of play, rules of play. So it goes all the way down to scoring, return to base, winning, variance. So we have about, it looks like 11 pages. Well, the scenarios start on page 11. So we have 10 pages of rules. So that's really not a lot. Introduction. The opposing sides, and then you have your components here, break down the components, port maps, what they all mean, each component, land-based, air, ships, and mines even, minefields. You have your setup, sequence of play, rules of play, land-based, air, setting the combat sequence map, Japanese, Soviets, and non-Bulgarias. Damage, combat map, control of sea area zones, inspection scoring, and then we get right into the scenarios here on page 11. And we have all of these are the scenarios. I would imagine setting up is going to take some time because you got a lot of counters to set up here. And then SOT example of play, combat phase example, surface lines. So they got different examples of play here. And then you got designer notes. So, seems like a very quick rule book, which includes the scenarios in it. And the total page count on the rule book, I believe, is 30. 35. But you have all your scenarios and everything else in it. Looks like we have a couple player aids, single-sided player aids. And combat sequence map here. So, we have 2 of those. They look identical. And then we have our port maps. Let me see if I can separate them. Yes. So here are our port maps. And as you can see, they open up. Double-sided. And they go by the scenario. Scenario 3, Axis port map, Scenario 1. So we got allies. We have 6, it looks like 6 ally maps, because that's Scenario 3 and Scenario 6, yeah. And then we have Axis port maps. Scenario 1, oh, there's 7, so maybe we have a few more. Maybe some of them are for 2 of them. And another Axis. And actually the Axis has 4. Did I miss one here? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I didn't. There were 3 allies. Not sure. Maybe there's one further down into the stack. And then we have all of our sheets here of ships and markers. So let's see, I believe they look like half-inch. Yeah, they're half-inch. So they're rather small, but they're easy to read. Seems like it's relatively easy to read. Got Americans. Maybe there's a fog of war here. And here we have our second sheet. USSR, Sweden, Greece, Italy, USA. And doesn't show what the green one is here. Or the blue one, I'm sorry. Oh, that's just convoy. I should just read them. And then here we have Japan, UK, Peru, UK, Netherlands, Finland. And again, the back sides are all just the flags. So there's got to be a fog of war. When you flip them, they count for something. But I've never played the game, just got it. So I'm very excited about getting into it. Germany, France, Brazil, Spain, Romania, Turkey, Argentina. So you have ships from everywhere. And then we get into the mounted map, which we'll look at here in a minute. And we have our 12 nice red die. So a lot of die rolling, I'm assuming. Does anybody ever open these maps correctly the first time? I wonder. Okay, so let's start off on the other side. Nice flat map, doesn't have any texture, but you do have all of these zones of control, I would imagine, where you get the points for. Ally, German turn, Axis. I'm not sure what that's abbreviation for something, but available LBAs, used LBAs, Axis repair track, and you have the same thing over here for the Allies, I'm assuming. Yeah, map key. And really a nice looking map. So you have the early war, and you have the late war. So that's the map. And it's not really all that big. I guess keeping the counter small keeps the map small, so that it can easily be played on any gaming table. Put all of this stuff back in here. And there you have it, guys. A very fast box opening of my latest game from P500, Seas of Thunder, Global Naval Warfare, 1939 to 45. Hope you enjoyed that. If you do, please do like and subscribe, and we'll come back to you with some more stuff soon. Thanks for watching.